In every series or movie there are always mistakes since all of this is done by humans and nobody is perfect. In this video we will mention some of these mistakes, which are visual, script and production mistakes. Number 7. The Freezing of Zyto. The story of Power Rangers Dino Fury begins 65 million years ago with the Sporix beasts. After the Morphin Masters created the Power Rangers by uniting them with the power of the dinosaurs, the Rangers were able to lock the Sporix underground. After this, Zyto was frozen so that Solan could wake him up when there was a dangerous situation. We understand that Power Rangers stories are full of fantasy, but I think this story has too much of it. In movies we always talk about freezing chambers, but I think this is the first time a body has lasted 65 million years frozen. Besides this, at that time on Earth there wasn't the technology to create this kind of thing. Still, let's assume that the Rangers managed to have the technology to accomplish all of this, so what did Solan do for 65 million years? This must have been a very boring life, and even though we know that Solan is basically a robot, still, it's unlikely that a robot would last that many years functioning. Number 6. Serpera in Forever Red. In the anniversary episode number 10 we can see Serpera, Lord Zedd's giant Megazord. This Megazord first appeared in Mighty Morphin and its size was gigantic. It was so big that the Power Rangers Megazord looked like a toy. In the Forever Red episode we get to see Serpera since the villains in this episode are looking for this Megazord on the moon. When we see the size comparison of this version of Serpera with the version that is in Mighty Morphin, we can see a drastic change. In Mighty Morphin the size of Serpera was so big that a human being would be like a grain of rice in the mouth of this Megazord. In the Forever Red episode, we can see the Ranger entering Serpentera's mouth and there is a big difference in size. On top of all this, the CGI of Serpera in Forever Red was terrible. Number 5. The Peace Conference. When Power Rangers started in 1993 it became very famous in the United States, but the producers were not expecting the success of Power Rangers to be so big. When the project of this franchise was presented to many companies, everyone rejected it. And this is why when the Power Rangers started, they thought it was going to be a failure. Due to this, when they hired the actors for this series they paid them little money, but with the success of the series the company started to generate millions of dollars with the sales of the toys. Then some actors tried to ask for more money before signing the new contract. But the company did not want to give them more money because they thought they could change the actors, and this would have no consequences. These actors were Jason, Zach and Trini, who were suddenly taken out of the series and could not even record their farewell to the series. What the company never imagined is that all the original Power Rangers actors would become very famous, and many fans did not like this change. It is very likely that, if the company had left these actors in the series, they would have possibly earned more money and the series would have been even more famous. Number 4. Tommy's Shield. This is a visual mistake, but for many years I had this doubt because in some moments I could see that Tommy's shield looked strong and resistant, but in other scenes it seemed to be made of a very soft fabric. Researching a little I found that when Tommy has the ugly shield those are the scenes created in the United States since the production had so little budget that they did not create a shield equal to the one in Japan. Today, we can see that the times Tommy appeared in other seasons he was with the Japanese shield, a shield that looks resistant and made of high-quality materials. Number 3, From Zeo to Turbo. In the beginning of Power Rangers, we could see that the Mighty Morphin had 3 seasons, but then the company ran out of scenes they had from Japan, so they had to find a way to continue the series. What they did was start changing everything every year. They changed the name, the theme, the Rangers, the Zords, absolutely everything. The difficult thing about these changes was to get the same fan enthusiasm from one series to the next, because sometimes the changes are difficult for some people. One of the worst changes they made was from Zeo to Turbo, as Turbo's season was a terrible failure. The concept of Power Rangers Turbo seemed innovative, but it really wasn't, since the Zords were cars and anyone can have a car. Besides this, today we know that the power of the Zeo crystal is much more powerful than the power they used in Turbo. Number 2, Dino Fury's Mentor. One of the most important things in every season of Power Rangers is the mentor. Each team must have a mentor who can help them through difficult times and who can teach the Rangers how to make smart decisions. Even though each team has a lead ranger, the mentor is still the team's greatest leader. In Mighty Morphin, for example, we can see that Zordon is the mentor of the Rangers, and they are guided by everything he says. In Dino Fury, the Rangers don't have a mentor to guide them, and although Solon helps them, she's not really a mentor, she's the tech assistant, the same job Alpha 5 did. In the 2 seasons of Dino Fury, we could see that the Rangers always lacked an official mentor to help them become smarter, as they made many mistakes that a team like Mighty Morphin would never have made. Number 1, Scenes from Japan. The original idea of Power Rangers from the beginning was to use scenes from the original Japanese series called Super Sentai and then film some scenes in the United States to create a different story that could be accepted by the American audience. At the time, this was an excellent idea, as when you start a project you usually have a small budget, and reusing the scenes from Japan was going to be cheaper to create the Power Ranger series. This has its limitations, as, by using those scenes, you would not have absolute creative freedom. After 30 years of story, the franchise is still using scenes from Japan, and this has limited the series a lot. According to the information, in the new season number 30 called Cosmic Fury, they will use very few scenes from Japan, and this will give great creative freedom to the producers. Power Rangers should start to be completely independent and create new stories, with different costumes and everything completely original. If you would like to see this happen, like this video, and subscribe for more Power Rangers videos.